According to the RACQ, mobile phone use whilst driving reduces your reaction time by about 35%, essentially making you a drunk driver. But what if you're just a little bit too addicted to texting whilst driving? What if you need a little help? Well, it turns out there's an app for that. Actually, there's like 100 apps for that.
Texecution is an Android application that you install on the phone.
Text blocker software will work with the GPS in your phone.
She uses an application called Auto Text Back.
It's a very easy solution.
All right, so let's start off with the app that's certainly the most popular on Apple devices, which is Drive Safely, drivesafe.ly, because you're not a startup unless you're mangling the English language. Basically, all it does is it reads out your text messages, your tweets, your Facebook comments, and in return sends back an auto response. For example, can't talk, focusing on not killing pedestrians.
Message. DriveSafe.ly is the answer to texting and emailing while driving.
All right, two things with Drive Safely. If you forget to turn it off once you've gotten out of the car, it will just persist in reading your text messages out loud, which could be super embarrassing. Insert your own Peter Slipper joke here. Secondly, and more importantly, it's entirely voluntary, and frankly, my inner nanny state does not approve. So let's move on to option number 2. The not at all ominous sounding Textecution. This one is only for Android phones, and it uses the GPS device to cut off texting, email and Facebook if you're moving faster than 10 miles per hour. But what do you do if you're a passenger back here in the back seat? Well, if you are, you can request an override from an administrator, so basically mum, dad, employer. And if they're busy, then you are screwed. The business of separating driver from passenger is a challenging one for these companies, which brings us to option number 3, a software suite called OneProtect. Again, it blocks drivers from accessing their phones by using the GPS, but they have a tool to see if you're a driver or a passenger. It's called the Attention Verification Test. You get presented with two different options. Are you a driver or are you a passenger? Now, if you select that you're a passenger, it asks you to put in the exact time and date that you are definitely not driving, sort of like a digital stat deck. Then you get given this test, which means you have to press certain buttons on the screen in a particular order, the thinking being that it's totally doable for a passenger but impossible for a driver. I disagree. I think it's impossible for everybody. Either that or I have really fat fingers. There is no perfect technological solution. The responsibility still ultimately rests with us, and as people become more tethered to their phones, that may well be the most imperfect solution of all.